It was 1976 and the Titan was dying. Not dramatically, no. That would be too simple. It was rusting from the inside out, a ghost ship anchored off the coast of San Juan, Puerto Rico. Locals called it cursed. Jaco Pastorius called it his cathedral. The legend goes that Weather Report wrote Heavy Weather in a studio. That's a lie. The bones of that album were forged on a rotting freighter in a jam session that never officially happened. Zawinul had smuggled a Fender Rhodes onto the deck using a bribe and a broken winch. Wayne Shorter stood at the bow playing soprano sax into the humid Caribbean wind, chasing phrases that the gulls stole. But the third member that night wasn't a man, it was the ship. Jaco had discovered it a week prior, a rusted hull that hummed in E-flat whenever the tide shifted. The engine room, flooded with seawater, acted like a natural reverb chamber. He dragged Joe and Wayne there at 2 a.m., drunk on rum and a crazy idea. "Forget the studio," Jaco whispered, his fretless bass strapped low. "Studio is dead. This place breathes." They set up in the cargo hold, no amplifiers, just acoustics bouncing off corroded steel. Joe ran a cable from his keyboard to a broken Ship 2 Shore radio, using the static as a filter. Wayne removed his mouthpiece and blew only air through his horn, creating a sound like distant thunder. Then Jaco played. Not Portrait of Tracy, not Teen Town, something else. He began slapping the strings against the fretboard, not plucking them, using the bass as a percussion instrument. The rusted hull vibrated, a chain hanging from the ceiling began swinging in rhythm. Joe's eyes went wide as he realized the room had a resonant frequency and Jaco had found it. For 45 minutes, they recorded onto a broken Tascam cassette deck that Jaco had repaired with electrical tape and spite. The music was monstrous funk played by ghosts, jazz from a sunken continent. Wayne later described it as the sound of God forgetting to breathe. When the tape ran out, they sat in silence. A crab skittered across the floor. Joe lit a cigarette. "No one will believe this," he said. Jaco grinned. "That's why we keep it." They never released a single note from that night. The cassette, they say, was left on the Titan when Jaco walked into the sea at dawn to cool off, forgetting it in his pocket. Salt water dissolved the magnetic tape within hours. But if you ever visit Puerto Rico, find the old pier. Go at low tide. Press your ear to the rusted hull of the Titan, and if the wind is right, if the barometric pressure drops just so, you'll hear it. A ghostly fretless bass, a Rhodes piano filtered through shortwave static, and a soprano sax crying like a gull. That wasn't heavy weather. That was the weather report the world never got. Subscribe for more.